Welcome to the Cowbell Kingdom postgame show. I am James Ham here on the floor of Sleep Train Arena, where the Sacramento Kings fall to the Dallas Mavericks 108-104 in overtime. This is a devastating loss for the Sacramento Kings. They led by as many as 10 with 4:11 left in this game. Dallas slowly dwindled down their lead. With 22 seconds left in this game, DeMarcus Cousins fouls out on an offensive foul with the game tied. The Kings absolutely fall apart in overtime. They get outscored 9-5 in the extra 5-minute frame. No Rudy Gay. He goes out early in this game with a left knee strain. He is having an MRI tonight. Actually, he's having an MRI as we speak, and we'll know the results of that tomorrow. DeMarcus Cousins, again, fouls out, so no Cousins in overtime. Ben McLemore plays about 2 minutes of overtime before he gets raked in his left eye. He's got scratches on his eye and blurry vision. So the Kings have to go without 3 of their 5 starters in the overtime session, and it doesn't work out. Lots of errors, lots of mistakes by not just the players, but by the coaching staff as well down the stretch. They had plenty of opportunity to foul and to drag this game out a little bit, and they didn't foul. And then they did foul after they didn't foul. It was a very, very strange sort of series of events that cost the Kings this game. So let's get to some of our keys to tonight's game. DeMarcus Cousins was an absolute beast. Finishes with 32 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. He actually has 2 steals and a block as well. But he turned the ball over 9 times. And it was a very, very big issue from the beginning of this game. The Dallas Mavericks threw double teams at him all night long. DeMarcus Cousins turned the ball over 3 times in the first 5 minutes of this game, which started a trend. He kept passing the ball, trying to make cross-court passes out of the double team, and the quick guards of the Dallas Mavericks, Monte Ellis and Rajon Rondo, each finished with 4 steals apiece. They were all over the passing lanes today. The Kings, on the other side, they couldn't hit a three-point shot at all. They go 1 of 18 from behind the arc. Darren Collison, 0 for 6. Ben McLemore, 0 for 5. Your starting backcourt, 0 for 11 from behind the arc. Disastrous, because that led to Dallas even doing more double teams on DeMarcus Cousins, especially with Rudy Gay out of the game. Rudy Gay plays just 10 minutes, scores 4 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. He kills Dallas. This is a big loss for the Kings tonight to not have Rudy Gay. We don't have any idea how long he might be out. It could be long. It could be one of those things that he shakes it off and he's back for Friday and Saturday's back-to-back. But I think the Kings are being awfully cautious right now. Darren Collison scores 18 points tonight. He tried his hardest to keep the Kings in this game, but again, 0 for 6 from long range. He shoots just 6 of 20 from the field. He had 3 assists, 7 rebounds, but not a great performance by him. 3 steals, 3 turnovers on the night. Ben McLemore had all kinds of trouble in this game. Staying in front of Monte Ellis, hitting the 3, hitting any shot, actually. He really struggled. With Rudy Gay out of the game, Derek Williams, 12 points and 10 rebounds. Actually, Derek Williams was very instrumental in this game. He played really solid defense on Dirk Nowitzki. He was an efficient scorer. I think he was 5 of 12 from the field, which isn't great, but his rebounding numbers were great. He was aggressive. Carl Landry continues his strong play, 14 points, 10 rebounds on 7 of 10 shooting, but he went quiet in the overtime, and that's not what the Kings needed at all. Let's get to our 3 keys to the game. Carelessness was our first key, and the Kings were exactly that. They were careless. They were careless with the ball all night. They finished with 20 turnovers. Those 20 turnovers led to 27 points for the Dallas Mavericks. That's probably the difference in this game. The turnovers, Dallas just had 10 turnovers, and the Kings scored 8 points off of those turnovers. Rondo and Ellis, again, 4 steals apiece. The double team was a nightmare for the Kings. They didn't know how to handle it. DeMarcus Cousins isn't to blame solely for those double-team turnovers. His teammates sat around and didn't come to the ball. They kind of left him high and dry. It's something that this team needs to figure out, is how to get open for DeMarcus Cousins when he sees double and triple teams. I mean, again, the guy scores 32 points. You got to help him out and come to the ball at some point. Our second key to the game is perimeter defense. The Kings actually held Dallas to 6 of 24 from behind the arc, but Ellis and Rondo combined for 49 points. Rondo hit a huge 3 in overtime that actually gave Dallas back the lead, sort of the turning point in this game in the overtime session. So the perimeter defense was okay, but in the end, they still yielded a lot of points to the the starting guards of the Dallas Mavericks. Let's get to our third key of the game. The third key is the elusive 2-game win streak. The Kings haven't won 2 games in a row since all the way back in November when they were 9-5. It's been a long stretch, and for that matter, the Kings have yet to win 2 games in a row at home this season. So at least they looked better tonight than what we've seen in the past. I mean, again, this week we saw a really nice win against the Oklahoma City Thunder where they win by 21 points. They come back the next game and get blown out by Denver. Then they come back again and win by 19 points. And now tonight, an overtime loss. But you can see that the tightness of this game was a very good game all the way down the stretch. The Kings had every opportunity to win this game, and actually they probably should have. Again, they led by 10 with 4:11 left in this game and couldn't finish it. They could not. They got outscored 14-4 down the stretch, and that's why they end up losing this game. Let's go to our MVP, DeMarcus Cousins. If the Kings win, he's the clear MVP. Best player on the floor tonight was DeMarcus Cousins. Again, 32 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. He turned the ball over 9 times. He almost had the elusive quadruple-double, which would have been comical to say the least. If the Kings would have gone into overtime, there's a good chance that would have happened if he would have made it to overtime without fouling out there near the end of the game. He fouls out on an absolutely horrible call where Tyson Chandler completely flops and a young referee bought into the flop. So, the Kings had to play the overtime unit without both Rudy Gay and DeMarcus Cousins. If I'm going to go with an MVP from the Dallas Mavericks in tonight's game, I'm going to go with Monte Ellis, who finishes with 28 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 steals. He's so quick. He's such a tough cover. He ate Ben McLemore up early and often, and then he did a nice job in the fourth quarter as well. So MVP for tonight is Monte Ellis. The Kings will be back Friday, Saturday for a back-to-back home. This is the third home back-to-back on the season. They take on the Miami Heat on Friday night, followed by the Los Angeles Clippers on Saturday. No word on Rudy Gay, no word on Ben McLemore. The Kings need both of those guys if they hope to compete in those games coming up. So thanks for tuning in to the Cowbell Kingdom postgame show. I am James Ham. We'll be back on Friday and Saturday for 2 more shows. Thanks for tuning in.